Welcome everybody to our House of Collaboration. That's the name of our office. We call it House of Collaboration. And welcome to the next Ratepay Retail Talk. Very excited to see you here tonight. This week has been an intense week of collaboration for us. What do I mean by that? Every couple of weeks we ask people to come in for a commercial week, a week of collaboration, where we meet and where we exchange ideas, where we discuss the challenges, where we share successes, and where we basically just use the time to connect and reconnect. And this was this week, and the retail talk is kind of the end of this week together. So this is about e-commerce and where e-commerce is heading. And can I see a show of hands who was at the eCom Expo today? There's quite a few of you. Yes. So I was there today as well, and I have to say I was a little bit disillusioned. So it seemed to me the most fancy innovation we see in e-commerce at the moment is sustainable packaging with paper bags. At least I didn't see many more innovations out there. And also when talking to merchants, I feel we still have this consumer crisis that really shows in the volumes that are being bought. And that's a tough situation for the whole ecosystem. So we are here to discuss that. And I'm looking forward to also see some bright perspectives on that. Should not all be crisis mode. So having said that, I will hand over to the panel, and I want to show you the one interesting thing I saw today at this eCom Expo. So it says, you didn't come this far to only come this far. So I think that's true for e-commerce as well. You didn't come this far to only come this far. So I'm really curious what is next. Let's hear from our panelists, and I will hand over to Nina, our CEO, to introduce the panel to you.
Thank you, Danny. And I think what we do, rather than me introducing this great panel, I'll ask you to introduce yourself. So what we'll just do, we do in this line. But to make it a little bit more exciting, it would be really awesome to also hear from you the one fact or the one thing that you believe in, but where you say nobody else believes in for retail, in this retail context. So over to you, Jules.
Okay, I guess I'll have something for that last question. I'm Jules. I'm the product owner of the Breuninger app. Some of you guys might know it, although I know it's not a Berlin brand, actually. You guys are more aware of KaDeWe and other department stores, but I'm a girl from the south. I grew up in Baden-Württemberg, and I'm still there. And actually in southern Germany and now throughout whole Germany, Breuninger is not only a huge brand for department stores, not a huge brand for retail only, but also in e-commerce. I was working in the app sector throughout the last years, and now I finally, with the Breuninger app, have my own baby, my own product. And one thing that I really believe in now that I am working in fashion and e-commerce is that I do believe that retail therapy is a valid method when it comes to mental health.
Hi, I'm Stefan. My background is I studied business and I used to be an online retailer back in the days in my first life, and then I changed to the technological sector. I work for Speedkit, which is a research spin-off from the University of Hamburg, and we accelerate websites with a special technique and artificial intelligence, and and I believe in e-commerce, and this is, I think, nowadays a really tough situation, and but I believe strongly, and of course I believe in the core values of e-commerce, in the customer, and I think that every e-commerce system has concentrate on the core ICP, and that will bring value to yourself and to your customer.
That's a nice outlook already. Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Katrina. I am from Idealo. Originally, I'm from Frankfurt, Main. Was born and raised there. I have a background as well in business and economics. Then started out in the startup world here in Berlin at Rocket Internet. Worked for Delivery Hero and now for almost 5 years for Idealo as Chief Commercial Officer. Who of you here knows Idealo? Do I need to explain Idealo? Okay, hands go up, but not all of them. Yeah, you don't know Idealo, the first row? No? Okay. Okay, so Idealo is a price comparison website, a platform in Germany. It's actually number 3 in terms of traffic in Germany after Amazon and eBay, kind of sharing it with Otto. Our business is selling traffic to merchants, being an online channel for merchants, but on the other hand, of course, an online shopping destination for users. And yeah, my role is taking care of the merchants, making sure we have the broadest inventory, many product listings, and a good monetization for Idealo. And the one truth I believe in that no one else believes in a retail context. So one thing I think that a lot of shops say, or that we hear a lot, is SEO is dead. There's no SEO anymore, like all shops have fully gone for Google Shopping and they believe it is dead for good, and I don't believe that this is and should be the case. There's a European law called the Digital Market Act, which will be binding as of 6th of March, and I'm confident and excited and hopeful that SEO will be back for good this year.
Given you currently have the mic, yeah, then we don't have this back and forth. If you look at the space that Idealo is in, yeah, with a primary product focus, what is the current situation there if you look at the macroeconomics, and what are your particular challenges?
Yeah. So I would define the industry of Idealo as kind of the intersection of e-commerce, because this is what we are for the users, and online marketing, which is what we offer to our merchants. And I would say in both industries, the situation is tense at the moment. So e-commerce, you've just mentioned it, is struggling. We've just seen the numbers for last year that the market declined by 12%, so from 90 billion to 80 billion. A lot of shops disappeared last year, especially in the fashion segment. So it is a difficult macroeconomic situation for sure. I guess most of you experience it in the same way. Also, of course, even apart from just e-commerce, right? The overall economic situation in Germany, and same for online marketing. Getting traffic is more and more difficult, more and more expensive. So yeah, a lot of challenges there. I think for us, especially as Idealo, as a business, we are kind of still doing well because we also profit in a way from the situation that people are more price sensitive than before. But still, of course, we also need to make sure that our merchants are happy with the traffic and that people still like to buy. So we're kind of in this situation of making sure we're on our growth track, but still managing cost better than in the past and more efficiently. And I guess this is also a common denominator for many online shops now. What has changed a lot over the just past 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, and Jules, if you look at it from the Breuninger Omnichannel perspective, yeah, how do you see this, and what are your particular challenges?
So from my perspective as the app product owner, I can say that we are actually experiencing the same, obviously, but from an omnichannel retailer perspective, we could also see that by addressing the people in the right way with personalized content, mobile experiences, seamless shopping experiences, you can actually still grab the user's attention, bring them back to your shop. And I guess that's the biggest challenge nowadays, because there's a lot of opponents and a lot of potential other shops where the user could just decide, okay, I am going to deinstall this app. I am going to just open another browser window and open another shop. And the moment where the user wouldn't do that is the moment when he really is loyal towards a brand. And this is something that Breuninger always worked on. We created a very strong brand throughout the last years, decades already. Breuninger also kept the balance between doing innovative stuff, but also focusing on the key beneficial things for the users. Always stick to the original branding, not rushing things. And I guess that was a quite good strategy. From my perspective, I think the best thing that we did was entering the mobile segment with our own app pretty early, because that moment we could really create loyal customers, and we can build on that.
Thank you for that view. Stefan, if I ask you, now it's for you, I don't know, the status quo is, I think you have luxury problems from where you look, because if I look at what you do, it's such a no-brainer for any given retailer, but curious to hear, so what's the status and what are your particular challenges?
Yes, of course, we are very lucky because we sell technology, not goods. I think so. We should take a look at where we're coming from. E-commerce was, the last 10 years, e-commerce was really a kind of growth story, and everybody was focused on growth and not on efficiency. And I think crisis is very good because the companies can really rethink their sales strategy. And they have right now, as we know, the customer is shifting from your own property to social media or to intermediate business models. So getting the customer back in your own business is much more intensive and much more difficult as the last years, and that will develop on the negative side in the future. And AI will drive these crazy, and that is why a retailer should rethink on the core values, which is impacting the ICP, the ideal customer profile. So you have to look very sharply, what is your real loyal and customers, and what are the stories you want to tell him, and what are from the technology perspective, what is the best technology for your ICP within these layers, which are shifting more and more far of your own technological property. So, and I think that is a really good situation right now, because you don't think in infrastructure things when it comes to a crisis. You have to concentrate yourself, and you reallocate, and you must turn your sales proposition into that what really matters, and that is your core customer.
Thank you for that perspective. Katharina, if we spend a few minutes on Idealo, you recently de-ceased or deprecated your direct sell solution, yeah? So how are you doing with that, and could you give the audience a little bit of context for why you took that decision?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, you already delivered a very good introduction to that question. Kind of focusing on the core customer proposition is exactly what also this decision was about. But maybe to give some context, interestingly enough, like also one colleague from Idealo approached me just now before the event, or at the event, and direct purchase is still something that a lot of people think about when they hear about Idealo, which is interesting. So direct purchase was a function, a product of Idealo as price comparison that allowed users to buy directly on Idealo for certain product listings of merchants that participated in the direct purchase model. So they decided to kind of have the direct checkout on Idealo for more sales, for better conversion rates. And our goal, our intention with this was to create a more convenient user experience on Idealo, faster checkout, obviously. It started 2014, so also e-commerce back then was different than today. And actually it worked quite well. So we had quite some customers that really liked the product. We also had some merchants taking part in it, but it never had the breakthrough. And this is because we figured it's not our core value proposition. Customers liked it, but they didn't really expect and demand it from Idealo. They rather wanted us to focus on, why they came is to compare prices, to make sure they really have the whole overview, that we have correct prices, the best prices and so on, good features. And also on the merchant side, not all merchants liked it. They felt like we compete with them on part on the customer journey. Amazon obviously would never, like they take part in the price comparison, would never give their checkout to Idealo, eBay and so on. So we had kind of this glass ceiling and figured that it's actually, even though it had its merit, it's better to focus on the core, on our actual USP, delivering the best price comparison and focus as an organization back on the core product. And this is what we did, and it's absolutely the right decision. So now it's 1 year since we ceased Direktkauf, and we really regained full focus on the core model. We have plenty of things to do there, making sure that merchants are happy, that prices are correct. We delivered new features, and also it's good for the profits.
And if you look at your main competitors, who are those, and what are the threats to your business that come out of these particular?
One of them I already hinted at with SEO. So our main competitor is Google Shopping. So Google Shopping also calls itself a price comparison platform, which I find interesting because it's not so easy to compare prices on Google Shopping because there's just so many ads in between, but they are de facto a price comparison, and they're very dominant and big, and it's hard to even avoid them in your customer journey. And Google Shopping certainly is, because of their dominance, the biggest threat for Idealo. Of course, there's other players as well. There's a Check24, which, however, kind of also regarding regaining focus on the core, shut down a few of their shopping categories, so they're not so big in shopping anymore. Then there's smaller price comparisons like Billiger and Geizhals, but we don't really consider them a threat because they're just so much smaller. So the biggest is really Google Shopping and their dominance, and of course, we're now looking forward to 6th of March, see what changes will come about now that Google actually is really enforced to change the way they show Google Shopping and make more space for organic results.
And if you ever are in this situation, so are there things where you say you can't sleep at night because those can be huge threats to your business? So one, I understand, if the thing isn't rolled back, but is there anything else? Or is it, apart from the macroeconomic situation that we currently have?
I would say it's the Google thing, SEO traffic, because we're just as many price comparisons, but also larger online shops. We're lucky enough to get a lot of organic traffic, and that's why it's so important for us. So this is certainly one big threat, and the other, I'm really excited, but also concerned what this year will bring in terms of, will it wipe out even more online shops? Will we see even more of a decline in total number of shops? Because this is in the end, right, what a price comparison is all about. If we only have Amazon, eBay and Otto, then no one will compare prices. So I really believe in the diversity of shops and offers and products. And
if we look a little bit at the current levels of inflation that we see, so it seems to be stalling a little bit, but let's see. But so if you look at the typical Idealo customers, how do they behave with that? Or have you seen a much stronger sense of price sensitivity? So did you witness anything?
So inflation, as you say, we're down from the high levels in 2022 with 8-9%. We're now, I think January was 3%. But the price sensitivity still remains high, so it hasn't really changed over the past 12 months. Same for the saving propensity, and we see that at Idealo that people are more price sensitive. First of all, in traffic numbers, so that Idealo has, despite kind of the e-commerce decline, had a good year. We grew in traffic. We also see it in their click behavior. So more and more, like even higher share of clicks go to the first position. Roughly half of all customers click on the first price. Half doesn't, so which is also interesting. Like the best price doesn't always win, but it used to be even less in the past, where customers would pay more attention even to sustainability and other factors. And today it's this, number one position is even, the best price is even more important. So this is the second thing we see. And then the third thing, for example, we have the price alert feature, where customers can set a specific price range that they would be willing to pay for a certain product. And this feature is going through the roof because people are not buying as much, are more sensitive, and are willing to wait longer than before.
Yeah. And any change in verticals? Suddenly that there's a shift, or is that the usual more hard goods?
We see that people compare more lower priced goods than before. So Idealo typically, because you wouldn't compare prices, you would think, for a nasal spray or so, but people do. So like the FMCG part, the food part, one of the strongest categories in growth last year was sweets at Idealo. And I was like, who's comparing sweets? But people compare nowadays everything. And the second is used goods. So, or pre-owned, I think is the better term. Which grew almost twice as fast on Idealo, but also in the market. And is also, again, here, you said you believe in e-commerce. I really believe in re-commerce and used goods. We see it in our own numbers. We see it in the market numbers we look at, that it's supposed to grow twice as fast as normal e-commerce.
Yeah. You read a lot about it these days. Can I ask you, we have many retailers today in the room. Do you have particular advice to merchants where you say, this is what you see, here's the 1-2 tips that you would like
for everyone.
to give?
Good question. So, I mean, from this Idealo perspective, right, that I'm speaking of now, and I've just mentioned Digital Market Act, and the traffic mix might really change as of March for many online shops. I mean, we will see. Maybe also it takes months because Google will not change it overnight, but we expect some changes over the course of this year for sure. And nowadays, some shops have really become dependent on Google Shopping because they've just placed all their efforts in there. So I think one piece of advice would be to make sure that you broaden your traffic mix again, that you look for alternatives. I think that was also quite interesting today at the Expo conference. Like social channels can be strong. Idealo, of course, is a good option. Other price comparison engines. So to really kind of broaden your perspective a little bit and look beyond Google Shopping as soon as possible, because it might really decline as a traffic source. That would be one piece of advice, and another is, but this is also something that many shops now venture in already, used goods, pre-owned goods, have a strategy there, set up a separate shop or place it in the same shop, but really make sure that you kind of jump on that train as early as possible, because customers are really looking for that, and also it's a good option for you to, for example, handle all the returned items that otherwise would just go to waste.
Yeah. I have one last question for you, because I also learned that you guys have a ChatGPT plugin in place. Yeah, can you explain what it does and what's in for merchants?
To. So we have a ChatGPT plugin for ChatGPT Plus customers, and it's a price and product comparison on Idealo, where basically the search engine is getting all the information from Idealo, but also other sources, and then helps customers to compare products much more easily than today. I mean, today it's already very easy to compare offers on the same product on Idealo, but it's not so easy to kind of just decide what's the best TV for me out of all the TVs in this world, and I'm this and this person. So really like how you used to work with ChatGPT to enter this on Idealo. And it's still, because it's just for Plus customers, limited in the reach, but we see that the customers convert very well. So the ones that do interact with it, they find the right product and they also convert into the shop, which is a good sign. But since the base is still rather small, it helps us to learn and adapt now for future developments.
Thank you. I would love to spend a little bit more time on the omnichannel part, yeah? So Breuninger, for me, has always been the absolute role model in solving omnichannel in fashion, yeah? So you were super early adopters and where most of typical traditional online retailers couldn't even bother about e-commerce, you were super disruptive. So how do you go about this, and what's your secret to success, if you can reveal anything of that? I give you my mic and then I get the other one.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for that. It's great that actually you guys here in Berlin have this perception of Breuninger. That's really an honor. It definitely is like this, and I told you that Breuninger always tried to be innovative, but at the same time try to not push things too much. So we tried to focus on our core as well, just as you mentioned. I guess the really successful things that we did throughout the last years was never forgetting about our past, never forgetting where we come from, and this is the department stores. And all the values that we lived there in the department stores and everything that has been appreciated by our customers over the years, we tried to translate this into the digital world. And I guess this was the key factor, because we were not always just focusing on adapting to the latest trends and, oh my God, there's metaverse, now Breuninger needs a Breuniverse, something like this. You know, that there were a lot of brands that were early adopters, like Hugo Boss, and it was a great example. I really liked what they did there, but Breuninger is not always like that. Breuninger is always just challenging itself and asking, is this really the core of our business? And what is the core of our business is also that we were focusing on a rather premium segment, luxury customer base. So this is also a customer base that is very, very, very focused on good consulting. They are asking for fashion experts. They want good curation of outfits, of brands. And this is, when it comes to my business, not so easy to adapt in an online world, because the online world is just adapting to what is the latest trend outside, what is the latest thing that went viral on social media. But Breuninger always tried to understand what our customers need, and it's probably not always the latest viral on social media. And so what we did is we focused on features that were really part of our core business, meaning loyalty. We always tried to push our existing loyalty program, which was also connected to the Breuninger card that some of you guys might know, which is also a payment method.
Unfortunately. Otherwise, if you wouldn't have that, it would be much easier to win you as a customer.
And to be honest, this is actually one of the main features still in the app that makes people install the Breuninger app, because they have their mobile payment there. And I'm also a little bit proud that our customers would rather pay with the Breuninger card and the mobile payment within the app than using their actual Apple Wallet, which is much more convenient because you just need to double tap Face ID, that's it. But no, they would open the Breuninger app, they would pay with the Breuninger card, and they would now also benefit from other benefits that we offer with an additional loyalty program, but I guess we are talking about that later. The thing is, what I am trying to say is that I think Breuninger really tries to understand where are we coming from and how can we adapt this in the online world. And we always did this with new features where we just have outfit recommendations in the app home feed. So of course we dived into the AI trends, and we have a data science team now, and we are working on new algorithms every day to provide better recommendations. But it's not like we just say, hey, we want to do this AI thing now because everybody does it, and it's just very trendy and cool, and it has come to stay. But we are doing it because we know that our customers, they are just used to have great fashion experts in the department stores, and they want this expert opinion in the online shop as well. And I guess this is the basis of every feature we worked on in the past.
Yeah, and I think what you also do, at least what I always witnessed when I was still working at eBay, that you were very smart about certain campaigns and showing certain inventory in different places. So and you were pretty early on and daring, yeah, in that thing. You already spoke a little bit about how important the loyalty program is for you guys, and I think it's the key to being very successful, and also to enabling your customers to merge online and offline as much as possible. You recently launched Beyond Breuninger. So can you tell us a little bit more about what this is, but can you also tell the audience a little bit, what do you expect from customers, what's in for them, and what's the reasoning? Why did you do it?
So actually the name is quite funny, because at the beginning, when all the employees at Breuninger have been told that, yeah, we now found the name for the new loyalty program, I was like, why is it Beyond? I didn't get it in the first stage. But now, after a few months that we launched it in Germany, we previously launched it in Austria as a test market. I can understand why we named it like that, because we try to go beyond what was there with the old loyalty program. And as I said, yes, we had a loyalty program before. It was mostly connected to this Breuninger card, and there have been benefits for Breuninger card holders all the years before. But what was missing was really combining this omni-channel experience when it comes to a loyalty program. You probably know a lot of loyalty programs where you would just collect points for everything what you shop there. For every euro spent, you will get a point. The same goes for department stores, or just take Starbucks as an example. You go to Starbucks, you have like 10 matcha latte, grande, whatever, and after 10 matcha latte, you will get one for free. It's just a very basic thing. What we are trying with Beyond by Breuninger now is adapting to the ever-changing market in retail, where customers are simply just expecting more and not just collecting points and getting one thing for free. They just expect more. They expect like very individual experiences. They expect exclusive offers. If something is there that we could learn from the metaverse hype, it's really just having exclusive experiences, and maybe just getting a secret gig of some artist somewhere in a secret space where you only have access to. And this is something that people are just expecting nowadays from retailers as well. And since we were always great at providing this in the offline world, we tried to create this experience in an omni-channel segment as well, and try to people be surprised about new experiences with Breuninger, which goes way beyond the usual department store experience or just a shopping journey on the web. It's just about events, about secret drops, about whatever you find in especially the fashion segment.
Yeah, so it's all about increasing loyalty even further and providing special experiences for your most important customers.
Yeah, and basically creating love brands.
Yeah.
That's what we all try to do every day, right?
I'll have to check it out. I mean, you run the app in Breuninger, and obviously you see a lot of shopping apps, yeah, if you look around. So if you go through what you've seen this year so far or what launched last year, so do you have certain examples of the hipster feature in a shopping app that you saw, yeah, where you say this is the absolute trend, or this is the one thing that absolutely increased the customer experience?
I can share both the external benchmarking perspective as well as our own examples. When I look at the market, I see a lot of cool features that are trying to use augmented reality, virtual try-ons. I mean, we all have to fight this never-ending wave of returns because people would just order more and more and return a lot. And from a sustainability perspective, this is just horrible. And also from an economic perspective for us as a company, it's also horrible. And we try to reduce that. So I think what is really going to create impact is having great AI and having great features in order to deal with less returns, have better fittings. And I really saw cool examples. Especially the ones in beauty more than the ones in fashion, to be honest. For fashion, there's also great examples. Like there was also this trend with virtual fashion. I tried it as well for a long time, actually. And during COVID, I was buying very cool outfits I would never wear in real life, but it was a very great experience. There was DressX and other players, you might heard of them. But what I really think what is going to help us is just make use of AI to have better size finders, engines that would just tell the people how certain looks would look like. I also believe in examples like Savage X Fenty, if you know that lingerie brand from Rihanna. She is just using, she was always very popular for using different models and showing how lingerie looks on different bodies. And this is also something where AI can help on just displaying everything on an actual body, not on a model. And I think this is one of the greatest things that I really saw throughout the past months, because I really think this actually helps the user when he's online shopping. For the stores, when it comes to the omnichannel experience, I guess it's not that fancy what I looked at, and this is where I want to bring up some examples from my own app in this case. I think what users are missing at the point of sale is a seamless journey there. And in most of the cases, you will stand there at a self-checkout cashier and it's just not as seamless as it could be. You still have to open something up, search for your EAN code to scan anything, or if you would like to see if another size of a product you're interested in is available, you scan the code and just the print is just shitty and you can't scan it. And it's the little things. It's not even something very fancy. It's not very trendy. It's probably not even surprising you guys. But I really think that when it comes to omnichannel experiences, there's a lot of homework to do to really make it seamless and make it work. And for example, in our case, we have this Breuninger card payment method, and we decided to also add the digital receipt to it, like Lidl Plus does it as well. And there's still a long way to go, but it's just the little things that make the journey just very seamless and convenient for the user. And I guess that's the key to success.
Yeah, I loved it when I went to Decathlon for the very first time, and I've in German, I would say, ich fiel vom Glauben ab, because I just put the stuff in my basket and I paid and I didn't have to scan anything, and it was just doing from what was in the basket. So awesome if that's happening, and if AI finally gets this great, that this virtual dressing in fashion is really cool, because I haven't found anything yet, but let's see, there's more to come. One very last question, but 60-second answer, yeah? You said AI is the breakthrough. How much are you guys already doing at Breuninger with AI and the data that you collect? And do you already see breakthrough, if you want to will, in terms of customer behavior or sales volumes going up?
So AI is the big buzzword. I would rather say we do a lot when it comes to data science. We are working very closely with data science when it comes to outfit recommendations. So what we're currently doing is we're trying to use the purchase history both from online sales as well as the department store sales, combine all the information, all the purchase history we have from our customers, use the expertise from our buyers, from our experts at Breuninger, and combine recommendations based on that. So not only using just simple sales data from online shops, but actually using the expert knowledge and combining it. And hopefully this is going to show a lot of great recommendations, and I want to work on this in the future as well, because it's, as I said, the key of Breuninger to have good consulting, and the key to that is have good recommendations.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. Stefan, if you take the mic, can you tell us and the audience what Speedkit does exactly and why it's such a no-brainer for everyone to use it, and why therefore it's so important?
Speedkit accelerates load time. We have a browser technology, and so we are not invading the framework or the CDN. So we sit in the browser, and we use artificial intelligence to cache dynamically. So, and that is what a browser or the framework is not able. So and this is also really great, because you can make an A/B test, you can isolate the uplift, and second one is beside that the ability to cache dynamic content, we are able to manipulate the browser cache, and we can also, through artificial intelligence, predict the next click. And if you can predict the next click before the customer is clicking, you can preload the content in the browser cache. So this is the way we will bring load time below 100 milliseconds in the next years.
Yeah, so you save, if I'm a merchant and I'm using you, how much faster do you make my page on average?
So I'm not Houdini, but I think, but the average speed uplift in the retail sector is about factor 2.
Factor 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and if you relate that to money, because I was also incredible. How much money does it really, if you tell the numbers, yeah? So if you say the percent of speed increase, how much percent in sales uplift this is according to the numbers you see?
Yeah, so we have so there's a lot of research about the business impact from speed on business, and the consensus is 100 milliseconds is 1% turnover. We see in transactional business, in retail business, about 1.3 to 1.5. So it's
increase in turnover per 100 milliseconds. There's increase in site speed.
Yeah, there's no better change requests on the technical level than speed. So there's nothing much more effective. on business economics. So we run a website in which we collect all the scientific and the research about these cases together with the University of Hamburg and Google. And I think it's speedhub.org. We collect everything worldwide. So you can, if you came from another branch like travel or automotive, you can see all these studies about and case studies about the impact of load time.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, Stefan, you have been an absolute e-commerce veteran, yeah? You've been super early adopter, you've been around for many, many years. If you look a little bit back, what have been, from your point of view, the milestones that really disrupted e-commerce? And I'm asking on the second line, so which have been the past, and what's the outlook from your point of view?
Yeah, so first of all, I like Breuninger because Breuninger is a kind of role model. So they had a really good ambition, and I think you need an ambition if you want to create a really sustainable multi-channel strategy. So Breuninger is really great because they adapted, and to be a first mover in e-commerce technology, that is a really stupid strategy because you must have a really crazy amount of money to finance that. So adapting was a good strategy. Right now, or if we see it in the market, we see a lot of data, and what we see in right now is that 95% of our e-commerce customer, they use technology or code which is much older than 10 years, and 10 years is like 100 years in the reality. So, and that is what you said, yeah? It's really undynamic. Your framework is really it's bothering your business. So I think the future will be a little bit different from a technology perspective. I think in future, because the customer is shifting to social media and to properties you can handle it, but you have to embrace technology more than the last 10 years. And of course, because to be honest, every e-commerce manager right now, when it comes to Black Friday, for example, what are they doing? They are just taking care of holding up the framework and don't losing to keep up the patchwork. So, and that is the real life of e-commerce right now in a really undynamic environment. So, and the future will be to embrace technology, to get with your brand experience, on different side of properties. And as you said, AI will have a really big impact on customer behavior. So you have to, the strategy of tomorrow will be embracing technology, testing, and of course, change a little bit your perspective from adapting to really early adopt commodity technology, which is AI driven, especially in personalization.
Yeah, so I hear this would also be your advice to those retailers and merchants who are here in the room, becoming early adopters and being bold on technology changes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wort zum Sonntag. Let's open up the group here for questions, if there are. I think we run out of time. I would have loved to ask you on one more question, but I think we can skip this and do this in the Q&A. So we are opening up for questions now. So in case you have one, raise your hand and we will come with a mic.
Thank you. I would have a question to Breuninger regarding its internationalization, because as far as I'm concerned, Breuninger has been internationalizing quite rapidly in the past years. And the question is actually about localization, but in a non-linguistic sense, because there are, of course, different payment methods in all those countries which Breuninger entered online. And how do you go about this problem? Because this can be a huge problem if you don't offer a payment method that is preferred in a given region. So how do you go about this need, these different needs of different users in different countries, and would maybe Ratepay be an answer to this problem in some cases?
We are now available in a lot of European countries, for those of you who don't know. So it's actually not only the DACH sector, but also Poland, Czech, and also some other European countries where we offer the online shop and the app in the English language. We also work closely with the regional managers, also buyers there, that would take into account what are the specific needs of our customers there, because obviously we can't just take what we have in the German market and just put it in the other markets and just expect all our customers to just use Breuninger card and PayPal and that's it. It's not working. I am not an expert when it comes to this, when you ask me this, because I'm not a part of the internationalization team. But obviously with the app product, we have to adapt it as well. We have to build the technical basis so that everything is working fine. And from my experience when working with my colleagues on it, we tried to do what Breuninger always did best here in understanding what are the specific customer needs, not only from a global perspective, but thinking local and really understanding what is payment providers that are used most often, for example.
A lot of e-commerce platforms are fighting also primarily against Amazon, right? Amazon has the luxury of being able to actually lose money when it comes to e-commerce because they have other sources of revenue, right? So they have the best price guarantee and so on. So in your experience, what can e-commerce platforms do to actually, counteract this kind of like trend towards, Amazon and generic brands and so on, and retain their own customers based on the fact you said, of course, price in times of crisis is a topic, right? So where do you see the winners and losers?
Very good question. So Amazon, I think, has more than 50% market share in German e-commerce. I think every second household has a Prime account. I think it's crazy. But it's also, of course, a super important partner for Idealo, also our biggest online shop. Sorry? Okay. So how can online shops deal with that? So I think the best advice is always to focus not so much on the competition, because Amazon is so much out of that league already. As you say, they have other revenue streams with AWS, but really focus on maybe, okay, what can they learn from them, but more focus on the customer and see, okay, what is their reason to exist? Why have they come so far? I mean, we've had that quote, right? How have they gotten here? With what value proposition, and what do customers still expect from them? And then apply the technologies that are out there towards that need. And I mean, there's so many trends that you can talk about when it comes to e-commerce, be it sustainability, be it used goods, be it AI, but really consider them sharply and in the end really wonder, okay, what is the customer impact? So I think it's a very general advice, but I think it's also, of course, depending on the specific circumstance of the shop and of the industry. But I think, like, also from my experience, and that's what I really also like about Idealo. I mean, you asked about the competitor, but to be honest, okay, Google Shopping and SEO now is a topic with the Digital Market Act and everything, but we don't really talk about it so much. And I think in other companies, also some companies that I have worked for, where we were very competitor focused, I think can be a big distraction. So rather focus on your core.
So, if there are no further questions, we close this panel. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for giving your perspectives and for giving us all a perspective on where we stand with retail and what the outlook is going to be. I'm looking forward to drinking a glass of water or wine and to snacking with you guys and continuing our talks and discussions. So have a great evening all, and let's mingle and connect. Danke euch.